And France's president is hosting an international meeting to discuss the future of Mosul. And in the last hour, François Hollande has been speaking about France's involvement in the operation to recapture the city.
La bataille de Mossoul, je le disais, est décisive.
The battle for Mosul, as I said, is decisive. It's striking at ISIL at the very heart of its sanctuary, where it itself wanted to set up its own caliphate, in the very place where this organization thought that it could carry out actions in Iraq and in Syria. But the battle for Mosul is also decisive for many other reasons. Of course, the first purpose is to chase out ISIL, but we have to be effective militarily, but we also have to be exemplary in terms of our humanitarian and political approaches. Everything must be done to guarantee the protection of the civil populations which today are at risk in the combat zones.
Sarah Morice joins us now from London. Sarah, François Hollande has opened the meeting. What more did the French president have to say?
Well, this meeting really, Annalise, is all about providing momentum for this attack on Mosul. And François Hollande was very quick to point out that that Daesh really is being driven back. He said 2 years ago the group was ascending. Well, now they're very much on the back foot. And he wants this meeting to lay out not just how the offensive is going, but also what happens in the future once Daesh is gone. And he said for Mosul there's a couple of objectives. Of course, the first one is to drive out Daesh. The second one is to protect those citizens who do stay in the city. And he said he very much separates people who are living in that city, who are innocent people, with the terrorists who are also fighting in that city. And that's why he doesn't support an all-out attack airstrike on Mosul. The other thing he wants to do is talk about the future and political stability. He really sees Mosul perhaps going forward as a prototype for how they can return stability to the entirety of Iraq. And it's interesting that he points out he wants to think about life post-Daesh, because of course there's been a lot of criticism of the West when they've gone into other conflicts, most notably Libya, that they didn't have a plan beyond the initial objective to remove Daesh. So he is talking about doing that, and he's going to leave some of those decisions up to the ministers who will continue the meeting today. But very much François Hollande seeing this as not just an attack on Mosul, but also a chance to offer re-stability to the entire country.
And the Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi is also attending that meeting. Is he happy with the progress of the Iraqi forces in Mosul?
Yeah, he certainly seems to be. He said that the offensive is moving along at a pace much quicker than was expected, and several territories have already been claimed back, and of course we have been reporting on that as well. But he added that the Iraqis themselves are responding very well to this operation. He said this is an attack by Iraqis for Iraqis, and that certainly as the troops do move through, they're being received very, very well. And he also has said this really is a chance to return stability to the entire region, but that he is very mindful that there is a humanitarian need here in Mosul and in the areas surrounding it. He said, but the one problem they've got is the displaced people and looking after them going forward. And the thing that's holding that back, although they have plans, is money. And of course the oil price has dropped, and he said they're struggling with a budget to deal with the displaced people. But of course he does have support from the rest of the countries participating in this offensive.
Sarah Morice in London, thank you very much for that update.